Hello, YouTube. Alan here. And just really quickly before we get into the video, I decided to change things up a little bit and do a little bit of, well, a little bit of messing around with video editing software. Nothing too crazy, nothing too amazing. So if you were hoping that this is going to be a little bit more of a shorter episode, well, I've got some good news for you. It will be. But that's mostly because I didn't do really a lot this video. It was a short day for me. Sorry, everybody. But I did obviously do this. Put in an intro, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a voiceover while the video plays. So if I'm doing something in the video and it doesn't match up with what I'm saying, it's probably because, well, I'm just doing a voiceover. If you want the full, if you would rather me talk while I'm actually playing the game, talk in game instead of just doing a voiceover, let me know. Otherwise, I'll do this because, well, I tend to get a little bit too into the game while I'm playing the game, and I don't do a lot of good commentary. Or I mess up something because I'm too busy trying to build something or another. So, that's how it is, and, well, let's get into the video. Alright, to start off with, I have a plan. First and foremost, I am going to try to get that quest, Rod Novice, started. So, I turn off all the auto monitors, and I go and I'm gonna go put the rod extender machine down. Now, to begin with, of course, have to nod at my boxes. At first, the game plan was kinda simple, but it got a little bit difficult at the in the beginning. My plan was to put it, of course, right here, but as you'll soon see, that was not really a very valid spot. Sure, I could get the output to work just fine. Just fine. Easy as pie. If I could actually go and get myself maneuvered right. But, as you'll soon see, the input, yes, that's the problem. So, I think, okay, crud, where can I put it real quick? And the quick answer is, well, I've got a big empty spot right there. So why don't we really quickly put the stuff back in there and move some stuff. I already turned off the auto miners, so shouldn't take me too long to get everything fixed up. With the added benefit that this should now kick everything into the box. Though I am obviously thinking as soon as I saw that, I will be needing to get the box upgrade as soon as possible. But that'll be something that I'll probably do in the next episode, most likely. With how quickly my money is going to be racking up this time around. And in just a few seconds, I will be, as you can see, taking out that and adding a smart splitter. And there, now the rod excluder is all set up. I get rid of the scaffolding because no reason to have that there. Turn on the auto miners and let everything go back to work. Now that's really just a temporary setup. I'll have to fix it later on, but it's already working as you're about to see. Does a little cool flip, and then it goes on in. And the first of the iron rods for the quest is completed. So, now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to build the iron area in that giant cavern. I'm going to go and get it all set up so that when this Rod Novice and the next quest after that is all finished, I will be able to get the pipe roller. The pipe roller is, of course, as you can figure, the machine that makes pipes. And we are, of course, going to need it. So, it's really simple. By the end of this goal, I will, of course, spoiler alert here, not be done with quests to get the pipe roller, but I will have everything set up so I can just slap it into place. I just come over, turn all the auto miners on after placing them down, including the extra coal one. Can't say no to the extra stuff. Then I swap it out with the ore crusher because, of course, I'm going to want to crush all the iron into ore, into crushed ore. And at first I'm like, alright, I'll just have the iron go straight through. But as I'm looking into it, I realize, you know what I wouldn't mind? I wouldn't mind just sending the ore on the side. That way I don't have to go and grab any gemstones to kick out the side. After all, iron ore is way easier to find than the gemstones. So, that's what I did. And now all the coal and gemstones that'll be coming from the various other mines will be kicked out the front. They'll drop down here, and of course the crushed iron will of course find its way into the blast furnace right here. And be made, and then move on through. That was just me having to take a quick hot second to see if somebody was at the door. But nobody was, so polishing machine goes down to make the ingots nice and clean, polished, and then we move on to, of course, the rolling mill. Because, like I might have said last episode, you do need plates for the pipes. You have to use plates for the pipes. And as you see, I just noticed that the straight conveyor belt isn't going straight, and I'm like, why the hell isn't it? Then I noticed that the corner pieces weren't going out. Just a minor little glitch in the system. Nothing too terrible. And I, of course, run it down. And here's another little glitch in my own brain. I'm trying to get the slope to go down, but it's not. Me not realizing it's as low as it can get now. Eventually I figure out, oh, we're on the very bottom. And I move it. But as I'm doing this, I realize, oh yeah, the pipe machine is a little bit different than what you've seen so far. So I move all that in such a way where I'll be able to get the pipe machine set up without any worries. That's where the, of course, pipe machine would go and the entranceway that's going to need. And I was going to move on, but then I realized, well, I can just continue on and finish it off. And that's what I did. Now for this, at first I thought, alright, let's go and tie into that one over there. But as I got up here and began to move it forward, I realized, oh yeah, I like taking the pipes up, sending them up through the top opening, where we have that one mine. So, we go vertical. And verticality, like I said, can be your best friend and your worst enemy, just depending on how you do things. It's always fun just to go and move them on through that area. And I'm just making sure I ain't about to bop my head onto the ceiling, which, luckily, I'm not. But I did get a bit too close, as I noticed here, so I take these out, and then I move it on over to the side. A little bit extra space, and now we go up again. And then I bought my head on the ceiling. Move on through. And then we go down. But as I go down, I notice, oh crud, I don't have any more slopes. So I better go get some more from the buying machine. But check to make sure that everything's going good with the rod maker. And yeah, it's going okay. And we go here, and we go over to the conveyor belts. And not only do I buy some slope conveyors, just quite a few, I decide, you know what, let's buy some corner because those are getting low. And then I realize, oh yeah, the straights are also getting low, so let's buy some of them just to be on the safe side. It's always good to stock up on the extra stuff while you're there. Something I really ought to learn. And here I am just snaking my way through. One of the main reasons why I like going through the top is because the pipes are so large that they tend to be a little bit, well, difficult to work with if you just try to go through the ground level. And at first, my first thought is to, of course, go at it from the same angle I've had most of the other stuff going into the box. However, I quickly realized that that's not going to be a good idea once I get closer to it, and I realized, yeah, that's definitely going to fall out to the side, so I make that. I have it go from the more lengthwise side. I'm just grateful you can actually mess about with the conveyor belts in the air. Otherwise, that would have been quite the annoying pain in the dupa to try to get rid of, or try to add. And then just deleting what I did. And with that, my pipe area is done. And as you can see, I'm using the supports wrench, which gets rid of all the supports underneath your conveyor belts. Earlier I said that you don't really need it, but that's in the beginning to late game when you still have rods and plates and such. Once you start messing about with pipes and you really start kicking the crud out of getting more and more stuff, honestly, the struts can become rather, well, annoying and even start harming your production. Because, yes, the struts are physical objects. They can disrupt your physics objects. And now we're done. At least for now, until the pipe roller is, of course, finished. So now I'm just going to go and set up the iron conveyor belts. Nothing too serious, nothing too problematic. Just making it look all nice and fancy and such. And there, now it's completely set up, or at least the iron part is. Now to deal with the coal and the gemstones. And just like over there, I decide, you know what? I'm going to kick out the coal on the side. So we're going to do it like this. And I will admit, I did kind of over-engineer this a little bit. I really should have kicked the coal out a little bit sooner, but oh well. Not to mention, I did kind of snake everything once everything's said and done here. But you'll see the process firsthand as I'm trying to figure it out myself. And I decide, let's put down the shaker where I usually put it so that way I know where to aim. And I'm trying to figure out how close do I want to put it. And I decide I don't want to put it too close because at the back there, I don't want it to be too close to the edge because I want to bring the coal up. And of course, just like before, I'm going to go and I'm going to have the gemstones come through the front, and I'm going to kick out the crushed coal to the side. And here I'm bringing down the gemstones from up there to there, snaking around. But this is one of the biggest problems that I had, unfortunately. Trying to figure out how to do this. Pretty much add it to there. You'll see later on I decide to scrap that idea pretty quickly. But I'm at least moving it on over. This stuff I of course will be adding to that lower belt because this stuff is all going to be mostly just, well, gemstones and the occasional junk ingot slash rod. Of course, I also have to make sure all of that's polished, or at the very least the gemstones and such are polished. So, I just move that stuff and do how that does. Wait for the ingot to pass by so I can swap it out with one that doesn't have a wall. And there. And now we work on the coal area. Or at the very least we try to figure out how to get the coal's gemstones and such over to me. And I'm just going to save you a bit of time and energy. This is not going to be a fun task. It takes me a bit to figure it out. So I think I might just... I put down the two sorters, and their main goal is to sort off the coal and the crushed coal. The first one will, of course, do the coal, just normal coal. And at first, I'm like, should I add it to the line up here? Then I realize, nah, I really don't want to, honestly. I really, really don't want to. So, let's just go bring out the iron coal. Get a merger, because we're going to need one of those. Finish off the line. And then, I can just go and bring the coal through here. Snake it a little bit. And that's sorted. And here now I'm working on the crushed coal, because obviously I'm trying to figure out how to get the crushed coal over to where the other crushed coal would come out. And I realized I'm going to need to go and get over that some other way. And there we have it. Now we build up to put the blast furnace down. And of course, the blast furnace is going to be a little bit difficult. It won't go right where I want it to go, so I'll have to put it off to the side a little bit. Nothing too serious, nothing too worrisome. Put down the normal stuff, and of course I decide, yeah, I'll polish them too, why not? And now I gotta figure out how to put them in there. And, well, easy as pie, just use a merger. There, simple. Now the junk ingots are ready to rock and roll. So, home stretch time. And I'm like, alright, I'm going to need to set up the sorters. So, luckily, we have these little nodes here. And I can just go grab the coal that I need. And thankfully, it gave me the exact number I need. Because I need 2 coal ore and 2 crushed coal. 1 for the iron coal, and 1 for, of course, the coal miner down here. I bring out, of course, the crusher. And I decide to crush the coal myself this way instead of trying to find crushed coal some other way. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Now I put one, of course, at the shaker end. And then I finish it off because, well, that was what I was waiting on to finish it. And I snag the other one before it can roll off to safety. And I slam dunk that. Finish off the line to continue on. And now I try to figure out how to do this. And I don't notice till it's too late that those are going up. And I'm thinking, why don't I go up with it? Or off to the side, maybe. Before I realized, yeah, I'm just going to have to move that one back a ways. And that one also is now fixed. And they're stagnated. They're stagnant. So, now I should be able to get both of them into there. And with only a few more corner pieces and one more straight piece, we're done. I'm just double checking to make sure that we're all ready and set to go. And then I notice, ooh, I should go get some iron. And luckily, like I said, we've still got some nodes. So I whip out my handy dandy pickaxe and I go get some. Snag a little piece. Run on up there. Toss it on in. And then I run on back to go get the others. And as I get on up with my magnet, I about to get it, but then I'm realizing, why don't we get the other one while we're here too? No sense not to. And since all of this is just iron, and we of course have a pure iron area anyways, I might as well just send it through the system, just to make sure everything works right anyways. And there we go, a whole crud ton of crushed iron. And it drops in, and we're all done. That should be it. Did a little dance, and now we start them up. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. And now I'm just lighting everything up now that it's all started. Like I said, you don't have to do this, but it does help make things look a little bit nicer. And I'm at the point in the game where I rather like things looking nice. Vanity has begun, and everything's beginning to move. I'm looking over everything, and I'm realizing, as I'm looking at that that's kind of a bad look. But I'm not quite gonna fix it just yet. I'm still working on the light. And I'm finally done. So, I'm looking through, watching everything go. Plates are being made, all that other jazz. And of course, I come back here to watch the crushed coal be made. And I look at this, and I'm like, yeah, I really don't like that snake too much. So, let's get rid of it. And there we are. That's all done. And I really quickly grab a chute. That way I can make sure that it doesn't fall off the belt. And that's that. All said and done. Now if any gemstones show up, they should be able just to fall right on through. And I'm kinda hoping one just shows up. And there it is. So I really quickly run back there to watch the gemstone come on through. And of course, doing a little dance, because I'm happy. Got all said and done. It's all going to be fairly nice. And with this, the iron area is, well, done. Now all I need to wait for is just a few more iron rods, and it's all said and done. Though, as I get to looking, I realize I could kinda change this around. I could go and just leave the junk ingots as they are, or I could go and grab the last rod extruder that I got and just add it to there. I have to add it straight into the polishing machine, but that's fine. I didn't want to add it to that line just like that. But I could just snake it around a little bit, and now I get to check to make sure that that worked. And it did. I of course make sure that the rod won't get hung up on the merger area, which luckily it doesn't, at least for now. And with that, now we have junk ingots and junk rods being made. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to do. That was just fine and pretty good. So, I think this is where we're going to call it for the day. Thank you guys very much, and have a good day. Sayonara.